Hello, and in this video I'm building a castle. Now this video is going to be a bit different. I'm going to be reading a bit of history, a bit of backstory, a bit of lore to the castle that I have made here. I'm not sure if this is going to be a permanent thing. I'm just going to roll with it with this video and see how you guys like it. So without further ado, here is a bit of the backstory for the castle. Castle Crumbus, located on a tidal island on the southwest coast of the island of Usail. It was first fortified as a castle between 1206 and 1257. Timber and lead were sent from England for the castle building on Usail. At the time, the structure consisted of a keep, a chapel, 2 courtyards, garrison, and a curtain wall. In 1339, when a French force captured the island, Castle Crumbus was besieged and was captured on the 18th of September that year. The garrison of 20 men-at-arms and 70 archers were massacred. The island was retaken in 1341 and the castle was recaptured in 1342, January 2nd. The construction costs to repair the castle were met from revenues raised on the island, and several improvements were made to the castle to prevent it being retaken. With the advent of cannon and gunpowder, the castle was remodelled between 1545 and 1548. In 1547, the French were fired upon by a ship of Usail and by cannon of the Castle Crumbus. In 1592, the Royal Battery was completed, as was the Sultan's house, and the bastion was improved. During the First, Second and Third English Civil Wars, between 1642 and 1651, the castle had 5 commanders. The castle supported the parliamentarians, and the island of Usail was split for support. A civil war on the island lasted 3 years. The town next to Usail was held by the parliamentarians due to the support of the castle. The outlying islands of Usail were mainly royalist strongholds due to their distance from the main capital of the island. In 1645, the island was fully taken by the parliamentarians, and in 1651, the island of Jersey, which was royalist, was taken by parliamentarians launched from Usail. After the Civil War, the Castle Crumbus served as the official residence of the governor of Usail until the 30th of December 1672, when the keep was catastrophically destroyed. A bolt of lightning struck the magazine of the castle, destroying the keep and a number of living quarters over the castle. Over 50% of the castle was damaged in this catastrophe. The governor at the time was Lord Batterstein. His mother, wife, and a number of members of staff were killed in the explosion. Thereafter, the governor of the island would in future live on the island rather than in the castle. The keep was not rebuilt, and gardens now sit in its place. The castle was upgraded during the Napoleonic period, with additional barracks, plus a prison was installed within the castle walls. During World War I, the area around the castle was used as a seaplane base for French and British forces, plus a garrison of 20 soldiers and local militia were stationed within the castle itself. During World War II, due to its closeness to the French mainland, after the fall of France on the 25th of June 1940, the island was considered to be evacuated like its sister islands, Guernsey and Jersey, but due to the large population, only 20% of the population were evacuated. The island received several fortification upgrades to many forts around the island, as well as Castle Crumbus, which received several large artillery pieces and anti-aircraft guns, as well as several spotting towers. Raids from the German Air Force happened over the war. The castle was protected protected the main town from most of the bombings, but some of the outlying towns were hit heavy by German bombs. A submarine attacked on the night of the 20th of January 1942, damaging the surrounding wall of the castle, causing panic within the walls, allowing another submarine to attack the port town next to Castle Crumbus, damaging the piers, hindering supplies. After the war period, the castle was given to the island for its support during the war and was turned into a museum in the 1950s. The gardens were made in 1953, along with a permanent tender service that takes people over to the island every 15 minutes, from 8 AM to 8 PM. The tender pier was improved in 1990 due to the old pier becoming inadequate for the castle. A pier was added to the front of the castle due to erosion threatening to damage the island and the castle itself. So that was a little bit of lore or history behind the castle. Let me know what you think. If it was a bit, cringy or stuff like that. If you want me to do it again, maybe for future projects or stuff like that, I don't know. It was okay to do. I was bored at work and took inspiration from the island I live on, Guernsey, and its castle, Castle Cornet, for this sort of lore. Much of the lore is sort of shadowing that with tweaks to the dates and tweaks to what happened. I also took some lore from Jersey. So the main idea for the location of this island is probably closer to the North Atlantic than Guernsey and Jersey, which are settled within the sort of peninsula bit that sticks out from France. So this island is more close to the Atlantic. And the island is follows a very similar history to the Channel Islands, which means that they are a crown dependency. I'm just basically going with what I know, and that's where I live, so that's what I know. So that's what the history is sort of mimicking, with tweaks here and there, because this is a fictional place. So getting into a bit of what's happening in the video, because I'm still going to explain a bit about the building of the castle itself. For the main walls, I used mostly Armesto's walls. Now these are great, but they didn't really have the look that I was looking for fully. They're a bit light of colour. I wanted a more dark wall, a more of granite, I suppose. These feel very light in colour. Maybe they are based off granite walls, but they just look very light. But they do fill the need which I had. I also used some Great Wall of China networks. Now these look very good and work very well for the toppings of a lot of the walls that I did around the place.